Brendan, if we just start with
Yes.
injury updates, how's everyone looking? Alice Johnson going to be okay for Wednesday, or what's the...
Yeah, Alistair will be fine. Really just precautionary taking him off, especially with Tony being able to come in and play. So, but he's come out of the game okay. Odin will be back as well, which is great. He's been obviously out for a few games with injury, but he's now been training and back, so he's available for us. And obviously then the other guys, Rio, we're not 100% on the exact timings of that, but he's certainly going to be out till after Christmas, we think. So that's a shame. Stephen Welsh back training, which is good. So yeah. Other than that, the others are on course. Leia Labada, probably mid-December. That's the update.
Okay. Rio obviously out until Christmas, as you're saying. Paolo Bernardo has come in for him in the past 2 games. We just spoke to him there. What have you made of him since he's come in, and what do you see he can do for the rest of the campaign?
Well, I think it'll be him, and for other players that we have in that position that'll get the opportunity. I think that with Paolo, he's a fantastic young professional. He's come in from a different country, adapted, settled really well, and he's really looking to take on board the football philosophy here in terms of how we want to play. So he's obviously played his first game, or virtually the whole game, against Atletico Madrid. It was always going to be a challenge for him at the weekend, but for that first 60 odd minutes he worked hard and did very well. So but I just think over time he will get better and better. But we've also got Dave Turnbull and Odin, like we say, who can come into that position as well. So so the opportunities are there for players and will be there for players, both in training and in the games, and then it's just about taking those opportunities.
On Paolo and Odin as well, you've worked with a lot of young players, Brendan, brought them throughout your career. These 2 midfielders, you see them with a lot of potential. They can reach the top level. What do you think?
Well, it's all potential at the moment. I think when you want to be the top player, it's the number one factor is having the mental strength to get there. The talent will take you to the certain point, but then it's the mentality to improve your game and develop your game and how you want to improve. So yeah, and like I said, both guys at this moment in time, in the short period of time I've seen them, they look like they want to develop.
Just finally from me, you had the game midweek, obviously against a top level side. Didn't make many changes at the weekend. Is this a chance to make a few changes on Wednesday night, given the fact that there's just so many games, or are you likely to go with a similar 11 as full strength you go, or could there be a few changes?
We'll see. We'll do a final preparations for that over the next couple of days, check and see how everyone is. But the team we put out is always to find the result, and it's a great game for us on the back of a frustrating result for us. I think our game was okay. It was a little bit slow up until the last 20-25 minutes. That was the reality, and then we sped up the game and showed our qualities, which is, listen, sometimes it's only natural. I've been in enough games where you've played midweek, especially high intensity games, and then you come into your next game and it's you maybe just can't quite get to that level. You can change the whole team, but then you lose fluidity, and so. But no, I think the guys will be recovered, and then we'll go again Wednesday. And like you say, we have a tough run of fixtures. There's never going to be wholesale changes. That's the reality. But what we always expect is for the team to be full of speed and tempo, and then if we drop off those levels somewhere near the hour mark or 65 minutes, we can make changes to maintain that. We just didn't do that from the off at the weekend. But as I sit here, 10 games in, 8 wins, 2 draws, and a team that's still developing and improving, and with a real tough fixture list away from home, then the guys have done really well, but we've got to keep pushing.
You mentioned you've got quite a tough, packed fixture list coming up off the back of 2 quite tough games just there. What kind of impact does that have for you in terms of how you approach the next few weeks? I suppose you will need to rely on that depth of squad that you have.
Yeah, I think it's, as I said, but it's an exciting run of games. The challenges, but you want those challenges. You want to be playing in the competition. So for us, we just approach each game and look to bring our best level to the performance, and whoever's playing, that's what's asked of them. So yeah, the next game, St Mirren, is a tough game for us. Stephen's team very well organised, and he always produces really competitive teams. They had a good result at the weekend. But we're at home, and we love to play at home, and we'll get ready for this one.
Kind of just mentioned it there. I wanted to get your thoughts on Stephen's job that he's done so far at St Mirren. It's been quite a good run for him so far, and obviously had quite a good result on Saturday. What do you make of his kind of dealings at St Mirren so far?
Yeah, I think he's proven himself to be an excellent manager and coach, Stephen. He obviously, when I was up here the first time, he done a very, very good job at Motherwell, getting them to 2 finals. League and Scottish Cup was a fantastic achievement, and his teams were always hard to play against. And you look now coming into St Mirren, it's the same idea. Got them very well organised. They work very hard. You see, they're very much a team, and like I say, they're always very, very competitive. So I think he's an excellent manager, done really well. I look forward to seeing him on Wednesday. And we will also expect a tough match.
He's somebody you've kept in touch with through the years as well, Stephen, just to keep an eye on his progress as well.
Yeah, I've always when I was down the Premier League, I still looked up here at the games, and especially managers that I've known. So yeah, I've been really impressed by Stephen's work over a number of years, and delighted for him that he's done ever so well at St Mirren also.
You've got, I think, 6 out of the 9, and the next 9 league games are at home. Obviously, you mentioned those really tough away games you've got out of the way. You see this as a real chance to build a lot of momentum here and consolidate your lead in the league?
I don't really think that much about it, to be honest. I really do think of the next game, and that's how we approached all the tough away games that we had. You can't forecast too much, because you never know what. They know the tough venues to go to, but I tend to not look too far ahead. I do know we love playing at home, and we've got the support behind us, but our focus is very much on a performance level, and once we bring that to the levels that we expect, then we know that we can be a really difficult team to play against, with and without the ball. So that's our notion, to continue with that level and make it really, really challenging for teams to play against us.
Just going back to Rail, how is he? It was obviously a big blow for him. He's had a couple of injuries already this year, this last 6 months. And he seemed to be getting into really good form just before it happened as well. How is he you having to look at him psychologically as well, just make sure he's okay with it as well?
Yeah, I think it's a disappointment for him. He's had a bit of a broken start to this season, and obviously this here will take him over the halfway point of the league. So it's very frustrating for him, especially someone who really commits himself to his game and his professionalism. He's everything he tries to do right. So but yeah, he's in a great place for that support from the coaches, the manager, to the medical team. The whole the whole staff here will support him, and like we do all the players, and hopefully we can get him back sooner rather than later.
I know you said last week you were maybe looking to get to the bottom of it because he's had a hamstring injury in his other leg towards the end of last season. It's important now that you make sure that when he comes back, he's in the best possible position to keep going for a long term.
Well, that's the ideal scenario. I think that it's just investigating really everything that he's doing outside of here as well as here, and trying to piece it all together. There's also just, unfortunately, players that sadly their collagen means that they pick up lots of injuries, and how their body is, and they just can never maybe sometimes stay fit. He's a guy that's come into the game late. He's into here. He's done fantastic when he's been fit and available here for for Celtic. So I think it's just a case of just trying to look deeper into everything around his development and what he's doing here and what he's doing away, just to see if there's anything that we can find out. Because ideally you want your best players available, and he's certainly one of our top players.
Brendan, just wanted to go back what you were touching on about the first 10 games. Obviously 8 wins, 2 draws, been away to most of the big tough venues, 5 points clear at the top. When you came in, you knew that there was going to be a bit of a turnaround in the squad, a lot of young players. Did you expect to have such a strong start to the season? Is that what you expected? Because you know how high the standards are here, you've done it previously. Did you expect to have such a strong start?
Well, you always hope that that's what you can produce. I knew it was always going to be a challenge for a variety of reasons, but thankfully the players have been absolutely first class since I've come in. I think their attitude to learning and development is it's absolutely superb. You know, they've really impressed me in that aspect. How diligent they are. You know, they're a very close group. Their spirit's very strong, and they're great ambassadors for the club. I think that their humility is there to see in how they play and how they work, and how they behave themselves. So when you have a group of players like that, and then you get new players coming in, of course that takes a bit of adaptation, but generally I've been really pleased, because, as I said, you want to make a good start, and I think we've made a good start, but there's still 28 games, league games to go, and still a lot of exciting times ahead for us.